Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to the Build the Back to the Future DeLorean. This is issue number 16, and this week we are building the transmission. I do have a quick update on the Ecto-1 build as well. At this point, looks like parts are back ordered. I did talk to customer service, and again, Eaglemoss's customer service is actually, at least in my experience so far, very good. Get through to a human right away and they have answers and they can pull your account up and everything works fine, no issues. So the person on the phone thinks the parts are back ordered until next month, which sucks. But my next official shipment check is in a few days, so if anything can be sent then, if there's a set of kits ready at that point, then they'll send it along. So I will know for sure sometime next week. But it sounds like at this point that it's October for parts, because that's when they expect to see them. So yeah, it could be sooner, but October seems like the build. So Ecto-1 is temporarily on hiatus until parts show up. Anyway, on to this build. As I said, this week it is the transmission. It's a pretty quick, simple one, so we'll get right into it. This is the kit of parts, 2 halves of the transmission, some bits that are going to hold the axle on, and the front or rear of the transmission, depending on how you want to look at it. The side, I think, not connected to the engine. So, let's get moving. There's 3 sets of screws in here, DM, AM, and EP. They're all here. I was able to verify that without even opening the packaging before. So, without further ado, we start with 1 half of the transmission housing. There's 2 halves. They're not identical because they're halves, so I just got to figure which is which. And this is the one I want, I believe. Pretty similar. So, that's one. You can see a lot of detailing on it. Hollow on the inside. That's the other. Similar detailing. Pegs on the end that aren't on the other. Still hollow on the inside. But yeah, this one with these 2 holes here is what I need, because the first thing we're doing is we're attaching that end piece. Which is... focus, that guy. So, that has 2 little holes on the top, and that's what's going to screw into those. Using AM screws. Now, the other thing I'm not sure of is the orientation of this little piece, so let's see if we can figure that out. That's obviously wrong. No way that it is going to go on the top so that it sticks out, so it must flip around. So, offset pieces make it impossible to screw this up. Impossible. I'm going to use a smaller screwdriver than what I got picked out here. That's much better. And this is all die-cast pieces here. And they're finished somehow to get this shiny silver, but I don't think they're painted. I think this is the, maybe there's a lacquer cover on it, but I think this is essentially the bare metal. Okay. So, that is end cap attached. Next step is to start assembling the parts that hold the axles on. I don't think there's any difference between them. I think it's pick one or the other. So, got these 2 little guys here. We can make it focus. Focus. There we go. So, these go on a bushing and then get attached in. There is a screw hole on the back of them, which is what I think we actually screw into. And there are little rubber bushings. 1 for each of them, just little rubber-o bushings. And these, despite the fact that the bushing is basically a hollow dish, these do not fit in it, they sit on top. The hole isn't large enough, not even close to large enough, and you end up with a sort of sandwich look. Okay, so we take the one that has the 2 studs sticking off the side, there, And that gets attached to all of this, and the back of these pieces are keyed. There's a flat side, and there's a flat side in the hole, so they're not going to rotate. And these are secured with the EP screws, because the axle piece, whatever it is plastic. And something in here refers to these as axle connectors, so okay. Obviously they're not, if they don't turn, they're not going to be secured to the axle of the car in a way that would expect them to turn, or they're going to lock all the wheels up. Okay. So, that is attached, I guess. Yeah, that's it. I loosened it up to check and see if it was maybe like misrotated, but no, I guess it just looks like that. Since I don't know the part on the vehicle itself, I don't really know. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. I just feel like this should be more straight up and down. Oh, I guess it's slightly adjustable. Other side, same thing, same plan. One EP screw. Push and balance this a little bit. Put the screw in. See if you can see what I'm doing. And again, you end up with a bushing and a mount attached to the transmission. And the last step here is going to be to take the DM screws that we haven't used yet and put these two halves together. So these are going to go together, like that. And they get secured from one side with a couple of screws. And that's going to be the end of this build once I get it together. Yeah, it's still loose. Just don't want to round the heads off or anything. There we go. No rattle, totally secure. So that is our transmission. That's the end of it. That's the open end where it's going to be mounted to the engine itself. Top, bottom, I might have that reversed. I don't think so. No, maybe that's the top. And those supposed axle mounts. I don't know. This is what your finished assembly should look like. That's what we've got. I think we're there. And again, as always, if you like what you see, feel free to keep watching. Please do. You can click on the cat to subscribe. We do Back to the Future builds on Saturdays. I have kind of intermittent computer repair and other builds at other times as they come up. And I am building a Ghostbusters Ecto 1, but at the moment I'm waiting on parts, and it looks like I might be waiting on parts for another few weeks. So there is a playlist of that up to the point that it's been done. You can certainly watch that and then hold out for other things. And there's a playlist for this build if you want to see those and you haven't already, or if you want to rewatch them. Anyway, have a good one, guys.